Hello everyone, this is John from RPGs and More, and tonight I wanted to talk to you about something that came in the mail the other day. This is going to be an unboxing of sorts, and that is this lovely box. Now, for those that don't know, this is the special edition box set of the second edition of the Black Hack Old School Renaissance RPG. Um, and I backed that Kickstarter because I really wanted to, get my hands on the Black Hack. I'd heard a lot of good things about it. I'm all about uh, OSR games which put the emphasis on the ability scores themselves, and everything being roll under kind of appeals to me. And so I thought, well, let's check it out. And so this arrived. I've actually already gone through this myself, but we're going to do a quick unboxing here for the channel to give you all a chance to see what might come in the box, and if you can't get the box, at least what you can expect to get should you order it. Now, the box itself, I will tell you, this is a Kickstarter reward. I don't know if this is available on the Square Hex online store yet. Probably by the time you're watching this video, it might be, and I will certainly include a link in the description of the video to their store, because frankly, what they produce at Square Hex is some of the best pads and various kind of notepads and large format notepads, not just little ones. I think I have, one second. Okay. I actually have several of their smaller notepads. This was not going to be part of the thing, but these are 7mm hexes in these little notepads that you can use if you're doing little tiny hex maps. My hand for scale, basically. So they do a lot of stuff like this. I've backed these Kickstarters in the past, and I find these materials incredibly useful. They also have like character sheets and stuff like that. So even if this particular set isn't up on their online store or not available on their online store, there's plenty of reasons to visit their online store. This is just a little promotion of them. All right, so here's the hardbound Black Hack book. But we're not going to look at that first. I'm going to set that aside. What we're going to look at is the other stuff, the other goodies that come in the box. Here is a little pin that you can add to your shirt or your backpack or your bag of holding, whatever you use to carry your gaming stuff. And it's got the little Black Hack rock on kind of symbol on it. I think that's cool. It's fun. And then you've got these nice little cards that have a lot of the rules printed on them, so it's quick reference cards. Here's one, which is useful. So the other thing that this one has is it includes two tiny notebooks that each are held by one staple. And what they are is these are all the spells in the Black Hack second edition. So you've got your divine spells and your arcane spells. And inside each little booklet, you're going to get information about the spell and about the rules for it and how all that works. So the wizard, it talks about how to memorize spells, how to cast spells, and then it lists all the spells by level. So you have, 4 spells per level, and they're all listed out. And the print is large enough that even me with my visual impairment, I can read this comfortably. And normally I can't read when people do small format stuff like this. They usually shrink the font size down because they're trying to make everything fit. But this one, there's the font size is so large, I could actually use this. This would be a useful reference for me or anyone else with a visual impairment. So if you see these available on their website and you like the Black Hack, grab these. They're a very valuable reference for anyone who's a spellcaster. Okay. The next thing that you get is this book for locales. And what it is it's a notebook for little drawn maps. You can do uh, your own grid symbol key or symbol key, and then there's a place for notes, talk about what's in there, do your own your own contents, your own table of contents, and then from there you get um, you know square grid, and then a place to write what's there, and then moving to the next page, there's a hex grid and what's on there. So what you can do with this is you can have like the first page is the dungeon that you start your group in, because why would you start your group in a tavern unless you really are into that? Then you could do the tavern on this page if you wanted, or start them in a small 5-room dungeon and write that out in this notepad or notebook for locales. And then after you've done that, after you know what the dungeon is, you can draw the hex map for the local area that's around the dungeon. So where's the town, and how do we get to the town? How long does it take? That sort of thing. And then those two styles of maps alternate throughout the rest of this notepad until you get to the very end. And then you've got a symbol key for the hexes, and then a layout map for the hexes in case you want to use numbers. And maybe you're doing a GURP style thing where keeping track of what number hex you're in matters for combat stuff. Well, this one's got you covered there. This is incredibly useful for various systems, and I will probably use this with my knave stuff if I don't end up running Black Hack for myself. Okay. The next thing that we've got is another little notebook for lore. These are not big notebooks; they're pretty small. You could probably get one campaign's worth of stuff in there, but that's kind of all you really need. So first, in the lore, you've got this kind of reminder sheet or reminder card in the beginning. Talks about the spirit of DIY tabletop RPGs, what all the attribute tests mean. So you could give one of your characters, or you, if you're doing a solo game, can use this to keep track of stuff for your character's lore at the same time as you are just recording your sessions. There's a space to make your own table of contents, and then after that it's a bunch of blank pages, each page being a place where you can put a title of the encounter that you're doing, and then details about the encounter. And then the back, there's how to track limited resources using the usage die. It talks about how to do that. Talks about what to do for advantage and disadvantage. And then that's pretty much it. And that's all in this little lore book. I think that's a neat addition. Another one of those, that one's a bit more specific to the Black Hack. You couldn't really take that and use it for another system. But I'm glad to have it for the Black Hack because I would use the heck out of that. All right. And we got here. Thank you for supporting the Black Hack. A nice little card. Also has the OGL on it. And then it tells you can buy the PDFs through drivethrurpg.com. And all the print products are sold by squarehex.co.uk and selected retailers. So bear that in mind. You are going to pay for shipping from the UK to here. Now I've done that, and it's all paper matter, and so it doesn't cost that much, but it does cost a little bit more than, say, ordering from Amazon. But again, I have never been really disappointed with a Square Hex product. They've done quite nicely by me with every Kickstarter that I've backed, and I've backed quite a few of their Kickstarters for the various kinds of pads and things that they do. I haven't always used them to their fullest extent of possibility, which is my own fault. But as far as the quality and the ability of getting it to me in a reasonable amount of time, their turnover, Square Hex's turnover for their Kickstarters is very nice. It's very good. And, or at least it has been up until the current troubles. And I think that if you wanted to, if you just want to get their PDFs and print stuff out at home, like that's golden. Do that. Um, just the product is solid. That's all I'm trying to say. So here we go. The Black Hack Classic Monsters. Now, I love the paper they used as a cover for this. It's kind of got that almost slight rubbery feel to it, um, which feels so different. I know I'm being a little creepy. I'm stroking the book. I'm stroking the book. Yes, yes, my precious. Now, it feels very unique. If you're a tactile person and you like to have a tactile feel to your books, this one actually has a really cool tactile feel, but also because it's slightly rubberized, it's a lot harder to drop it. I mean, you still can, but it's going to be harder. And then inside of it, you're going to have a ton of monsters. Not a ton of art. There's not a lot of art here. There's a little bit. Like, see there's a little bit of art on that page. We found art. But for the most part, it's just a list of the monsters that you can use for the Black Hack, and they're converted specifically to the style of stats that are used by the Black Hack. So that's great, because the Black Hack is different, and so you do have to do conversions from the standard monster stat blocks, excuse me, of, say, Swords and Wizardry Monstrosities or the various monster manuals from second edition before you can use it in the Black Hack. I mean, most of us that are in the OSR, we already were going to have to do that, so that's not unexpected. But it's nice to have it all in one coherent book. Another thing you get, here's some more of those reminder cards, cheat cards if you want to call them. What to do with powerful foes, what to do when you're out of action, ongoing damage, how to handle armor, how to handle initiative, attacking and defending. Good stuff. From there, we also have The Queer and Deadly Town of Sorrow set. This is a kind of a module in what amounts to a pamphlet. And there's a great use of space in there. The print size itself is fairly large, so I can read this comfortably with my visual impairment. It's a very comfortable read. I'm not stressed about it. I can almost read it from this distance. I'm not going to because that looks weird on camera. But I could see myself reading this at a fairly good pace and keeping track of things while we're playing. There's also going to be, like, on the margins here, there's text on the margins, but instead of ignoring the text on the margins, it's large enough that I can actually read it. And I realize that there's important information on those margins, so don't ignore the margins. But that's good material right there. It's a good little thing to get you started. How about some character sheets? Everyone needs character sheets, especially when you're playing a game you haven't played before. So here's a group of, I think there's like 10 of these little character sheets here that you got in the box, and those are going to be pretty handy. I'm not sure if I'm going to run a solo session or two of the Black Hack. I don't know. I certainly got all the materials to do so, and I don't have any particular reason not to necessarily, but I'm just not convinced yet that I want to do that for solo. But I might play a game myself just against me, just a me, myself, and the dice. Oh, wait, that's a reference to a channel I like. Ah! All right. And then here is, I think what this is Black Hack First Edition, I think, that they kind of threw in. Or either that, no, that's not correct. This is like the player's handbook version of Black Hack. So it's just a bit of the rules. By the way, it's developed by David Black. That's why it's called the Black Hack. And let's see. Editing was done by Pookie. Cover art by Carl Steinberg. I'm really probably butchering that. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to try to say the other names for the interior art because I will butcher your names, and I'm sorry. But there's some cool artists in here, and so this book is going to be enough to help you get, your a second player can get their character up and running while you're using the main book to help one other player. So you've got two books in one box set. Ah, that's nice. I like it. And then over here we have da 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 the DM screen. Ooh, it's purty. It's even purtier on this side. I I'll be honest, I generally don't use DM screens. Not because I don't like the idea, but because for me, like I have to hold it up here to be able to read what's on them. So when you're constantly picking up, so for me, I'm either picking up the DM screen to read it in order to check up on the rules, or I'm bending down and bending over. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. And it just looks awkward. It looks awkward. I like to stand up when I'm DMing, if I'm DMing in person, because I like to be a mobile person. It helps me kind of keep my brain wrapped around stuff. That whole like sit in the chair and talk thing, it's not for me. I tend to get much less animated when I'm doing that. And but I will say that as far as DM screens go, I like this smaller format of DM screen because I feel like I could just pick this up and read it and reference from it really quick, like, oh yeah, that's a thing, and do that, and then fold it back up and set it back down in front of me, and I'm not disturbing uh, the game experience too much for other people. So that's kind of neat. And also you get in the box, I got this nice all black pencil. It's totally black all the way through, and that's kind of fun. Like, it's a pencil, but it's still a fun thing. And then at the bottom of the box, we get a nice table that you can roll on to, depending on where the dice drop, tells you. Basically, so should you need to know where a creature has been hurt, roll the attack damage by dropping the die on this page. And then whatever number they fall on, or whatever area of the image they fall on, that's where they're hurt. So that's kind of a neat idea. Anyway, that's what's in the box. Das is in the box. It is the Black Hack. It is filled with many things. They are good, and I enjoy it. But now we're going to come to is a big book. This is a nice thick cover, and it's got a little ribbon here at the bottom. I'm hoping that this is all going to be available on the website. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here showing off, and that would be, embarrassing. But it's a good thick book. It's actually thicker than most of the other OSR games that I own, except for like Runehammer. But the text size is large, which is nice, and there's a lot of concise material. And I kind of like that. It's got, there's plenty, let's give you an idea. So when I say the text size is large, this is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of, it's well laid out. There's a lot of space between things. There's grayscale stuff as far as keeping track of the lines on each of the charts, and I like that because it's gray enough to let me know where the different lines are, but not so gray that it stops me from being able to read them, which some people do because they think of doing things in color and forget that those of us with black and white printers don't get their fanciness. But anyway, so this is neat. It has a lot of, there's not only are there a lot of rules, but there also are lots of examples. So this is like an example hex map, and it's got a bunch of weird, like there's a skull rock drawn in there, and the ruined chapel, and the pit in the ground, and a bunch of different random stuff. And so you kind of, it gives you an idea of what you can do. And I think that's kind of what I'm seeing a lot is not only are there the rules to the game, how do you create a character and what these characters like, with a lot of fun art, but then there's a lot of help. For I think like half of this book seems to be just helping you figure out how to create like a random encounter, how to randomly generate an adventure. I think that's in there. Talking about equipment and economy, creating your own equipment lists. They give you space to do that. So like you could take this book and with this one book and actually fill in things in pencil all over this book and actually create your own version of the Black Hack right from this book. Or you could copy and paste, or not copy and paste, but you could print out and make photocopies of the various, like the character sheet or the equipment, the blank equipment list page, and then have your own binder full of stuff. We all know how to do that. Let's see, random tables, how to start the first game, what roll on the table to decide what the inciting incident is, and it gives you some ideas of what that could mean, and giving you a lot of inspiration. NPC concept generators, starting with the social position, the heritage, the visual thing, the quirk to play, the reputation. What do they have a reputation for? There's more charts for rolling for NPC's appearance if you just need help with that. Story hook charts. How NPCs are related. There's lots of charts for that, between type and status, joint activity, their history, their intentions, and then there's a D100 table for NPC activities. So there's a lot of places that you can go to. Oh, there's a huge drop table. And the title is "What's on the Corpse?" So if your party loves to loot everything that they come across, this little drop table, it's got you covered. It's like a tin of rare stamps, or how about warped glasses, or miniature octopus. That's kind of neat. Now, is it alive? Is it a live miniature octopus, or is it like someone's lunch? Good question. That would have to be answered by the DM. All right, and then overland adventures, how to go through some of that stuff. Hex terrain generator. I might actually need this for my my Knave campaign because I don't have a generator to help me generate hexes and stuff. So I may end up using this. I'm gonna actually, while we're here, because I'm like that, I am going to take the ribbon out from where I had it, and I'm going to put it at the hex terrain generator so that I can find that again. Hex feature generator, cool. Sample hex map, we already saw that. Settlement generator kind of helps you generate different settlements. That's useful stuff right there. There's a tavern generator as well as a sample tavern. So if you ever wanted to know the details of the tavern that you're going to have your player start in, well, this is a good place to start to make it a little more unique. I could see using this alongside the tavern trawling system of backswords and bucklers. That I just had that thought as we're talking, and that would be cool. There's the quest hook generator, the rival hero generator. Okay, and the quest hook one seems to be very similar to what I saw with the tavern trawler. I still like the tavern trawler one better, so I'd probably just keep using that one. But I like the rival hero generator. That's a cool idea for creating rivals that aren't cookie cutters. Because that's what I usually end up doing is I do like cookie cutters of like, let's find the evil universe version of my players' characters. And sometimes that gets it. You can do that once or twice and then it gets old. Dungeon generator, cool. Inhabitant generator, cool. Entrance generator, room area generator. There's a lot here. Like there's 2 different generators each page. Empty areas and rooms, dungeon ambiance. There's a lot of fun stuff here. Okay. And then there's blank tomes and layers. So in the book, you've got a map and a blank key for that map, and you can just fill that in. Remember I told you basically buy this book and run your whole thing with it? Here's a whole blank dungeon. So a dungeon map, and the blank key to it, and you can sit there and just key that out and run it straight from the book. There's also a random map maker to help you create maps for your stuff. Cool, cool. Monsters and opponents generators. And more. Here, there's a little bit of a monster bestiary here. Dire wildlife, dragons, banished elves, dwarves, elven kind, giant kind, gnolls, humans, long dead future man. Interesting. Okay, looks like it is a skeleton in a spacesuit. That's cool. Vampires, reanimated zombies, treasure and magic items, tables, fun. Treasure hoards, another drop table. See, treasure hoards, drop table. A sampled dungeon. How to put it all together. There at the end. And then the appendix. So that's what's in this big book. That's the big thing. Anyway, looks like there's a lot of material for anyone who wants to generate a more detailed campaign. As far as rules of how to play the game, that was the first half of the book, and I bet you could condense that into even less. Like maybe there was only a third that was actually the rules and the more explanation of how they work. The second half of the game of the book was specifically just all those random generators, and frankly, those random generators to me are worth the price of admission right there. That book just paid for itself because of those things. Because the more I get into solo RPGing, the more I'm really loving having a solid base of random generators that are designed to work with that. So I am a fan. I'm happy with that. Maybe that inspired you to take a look at it and pick one up for yourself when these are available. And that, I would be very happy for that. I'd love to send more business towards Square Hex because frankly, they've made good product for me, and I wouldn't mind giving back a little bit. That's kind of what this is about. It's also about showing off fun things that I got from the Kickstarter, which is always fun. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please like the video, maybe leave a comment down below and let me know what you enjoyed about it. Let me know what you didn't enjoy about it. And if you really want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. I do like to talk about systems that I pick up, and I've got a whole bunch of them that I'm slowly reading through and figuring out how they work. And I want to start sharing them with everyone as time goes on. But it'd be nice to know if that's what people enjoy. And I also look forward to doing the next episode of the Knave solo game. That one takes a bit longer to produce because I like to do the art for the maps and have some fun with it. But hopefully I'll get another one out sometime this week. Anyway, thank you for your time. Peace be with you all. Bye-bye.